Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
The Signal Oil Company program, The Whistler, as it was originally broadcast on October 8th, 1945. The name of this episode is Death Laughs Last.
Signal gasoline. Signal, the new gasoline you can prove is superior. The Signal Oil Company and your neighborhood signal dealer bring you another curious story by The Whistler. Tonight, Death Laughs Last.
I am the Whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak. Clint Garvey had never been the same after the death of Eddie Lamar. Eddie was his closest friend. They'd gone to school together, come up from the streets into the big time side by side. Their partnership had been a profitable one. Eddie had plenty of money. There were no domestic troubles. His health was good. And Clint had always seemed puzzled as to why a man like Eddie would commit suicide. It just wasn't in the cards. Still, no matter how much pressure Clint put on the police department, their answer was always the same.
Will you forget it, Garvey? It was suicide. The coroner says so, the police surgeon says so, and I say so.
You could still be wrong.
Oh, look. It's been a year now. 1 year this month since we went on the case. We've gone into every angle. We know Lamar's past like a book. The records fill 2 file drawers down at the bureau. And everything we've got says it's suicide. Why won't you forget it?
Because I knew Eddie Lamar better than all of you, and I know he wasn't the kind of a guy who bumped himself off. That's why.
What do you know about the inside of his mind? We got a million cases just like it. Guy comes home happy, kisses his wife, not a care in the world, bingo, puts himself away.
Not Eddie. You're off the beam, Sergeant.
I'm sorry, Clint. We're closing the case for keeps this time. There's nothing more we can do.
Ever made a mistake, Sergeant?
Not very many. Check the record. This department is a pretty high batting average, Clint. There hasn't been a single unsolved murder on the books for the past 18 months.
Oh, come on, Sergeant. You're not trying to tell me that
Just
for
check the record. It's all there in black and white. Well, I better get going. Do at the desk in 20 minutes. I'm sorry, Garvey. You're a smart boy in your own line. But you better let us make the decision when it comes to murder. It's our business. So long.
So long. Yeah, the boobs. The poor, dumb boobs. Oh, what I'd give to tell them off.
Yes, Clint. If there were only a way you could tell them off, show them what blundering saps they are. It was a perfect crime, wasn't it? So perfect that for the past year you've had a wonderful time playing with them, watching them stumble, goading them on, almost daring them to discover how Eddie Lamar really died. Yes, Clint, it was a new kind of sport, full of thrills and danger. But you knew you were safe, because it was so perfect. No loopholes, no loose ends. You saw to that when you killed him. How you'd love to tell the public the real story of Eddie Lamar and then lean back and laugh with the rest of them while Chief Bradshaw and his clowns crawled into their holes. But that's the trouble with a perfect crime, isn't it? You can't tell anybody. You've just got to sit back and smile and boil a little inside. And then, one Saturday night on the highway north of San Diego, your lights pick up a hitchhiker at the edge of the road.
Where to, buddy?
Stick 'em up.
Hey, wait a minute, pal. You don't know...
You heard what I said. Stick 'em up.
Okay.
Now, get out of the car.
He took everything, your watch, your ring, all your money, except that $100 bill you always carry in your right shoe. Left you on foot 10 miles from Chalmers Cove, the nearest town. Nothing to do but wait for morning in a haystack near the highway. You were boiling mad, weren't you, Clint? Didn't feel much like talking when that breezy truck driver picked you up the next morning.
Right, Bud. I'm always glad to give a guy a lift. Against company rules, of course, but, well, you know, it gets darn lonesome pushing one of these six-wheelers all day. Always manage to find a ride of nights, too. That's when you need a guy to talk to. Yeah, it keeps you from dropping off like that guy did last night.
What guy?
I just heard about it back at the station. Guy must have fell asleep at the wheel. Drove off a graded curve. Yeah, killed him dead. Car burned to cinders. Some guy from Frisco.
Mention his name?
Yeah, Garvey. Made a note in my mind without thinking. Garvey. That's gravy, spelled backwards. See?
Wait a minute. Hold it. I think I'll go on to San Diego. Change my mind. You can let me off here at Chalmers Cove.
Yes, sir?
Got a room for me?
Yeah, I think so. I can give you $29. That'll be $4 with that.
That'll do. My name's Lawrence.
Sign the register, please.
Yeah. Okay. Now give me one of those newspapers, will you?
Here you are. The maid'll be in to make up the room right away.
Tell her to skip it for a couple hours. I want to be alone. The body was burned beyond recognition, but police confirmed identification of Garvey through articles of jewelry discovered in the wreckage. The car, a 39 Buick Coupe, was purchased by the victim in San Francisco. I'm dead. What do you know? I'm dead. Say, clerk.
Yes, sir?
How does the mail run around here? I mean, tomorrow being a holiday.
It'll be picked up Tuesday morning at 9.
When was the last pickup on Saturday?
Let me see. Was it 5? Yeah, that's right. 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon.
I see.
Your mind's going a mile a minute, isn't it, Clint? A whole year of talking to yourself, of chuckling in private at the stupidity of Bradshaw and his homicide detail. And now it's laid right in your lap. You think it through carefully alone in your room. They can't execute a dead man. And as far as their records go, you were killed Saturday night. A confession letter would knock the props out from under Bradshaw, wouldn't it? A letter from a dead man telling the citizens what a bunch of clowns they've got in the police department. A letter mailed to Jerry Slade of the San Francisco Times-Star, Bradshaw's #1 enemy.
Beg your pardon, clerk.
Oh, yes, sir.
Where'd you say the mailbox is?
There's one down the road at the next corner. Right by the Signal Oil Station.
Thanks.
You can leave it here at the desk if
No,
you like.
no, I want to put this one in the box myself. It's kind of important.
And Jonathan Skinny Wainwright, the general who saw the Stars and Stripes haul down.
Morning, Mr. Lawrence. Checking out?
Checking out?
It's Tuesday. You
Oh,
said...
yeah, and I changed my mind. Think I'll hang around a while longer.
Changed your mind, huh?
Yes.
Any idea how long?
Can't tell. It all
During the
depends.
3 intolerable years he spent as a prisoner of the
Listen to
Japs.
that.
It's the greatest day of all in the life of
Yeah.
Skinny Wainwright.
Well,
Now, here's a late
that's
item
it.
from San Diego.
Better turn it off.
Police reveal
No.
a new development in the
Wait a
case
minute.
of the automobile which crashed on the highway north of San Diego late Saturday night, when they announced examination of the death of the charred victim proved him to be not Clinton Garvey, but one Joseph Castro, an itinerant wanted in Salinas for robbery. It is believed that the car, registered to Garvey, had been stolen. Police are puzzled by the fact that Garvey has not yet appeared to report the theft and are checking on his whereabouts. And that's the news to this
What's the matter, Mr. Lawrence?
Your reporter is
What time is it?
Lyle Craig.
9 o'clock.
Stay tuned to this station for latest
The mailbox mail's picked up at 9.
Mailbox? Say, what's the matter, Mr. Lawrence? Where are you going?
Square.
There's something wrong with that guy. I bet he's changed his mind again.
October 8, 1945, The Whistler on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining MediShare right now. MediShare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. MediShare can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 29 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues now with more of The Whistler, October 8, 1945.
Well, Clint, the shoe's on the other foot now, isn't it? The laugh won't be as loud or as long as you'd hoped if that letter ever reaches San Francisco. Yes, if it gets there, you're a dead duck, and you know it as you race pell-mell down the side street in Chalmers Cove toward the mailbox you dropped it in last night. 9:05, the pickup scheduled for 9 o'clock. Maybe the truck will be late, you keep telling yourself. Yes, it's pulled up at the box as you turn the corner.
Hey, wait a minute.
Huh? What's wrong?
Listen, this letter I mailed last night.
Yeah?
I don't want to mail it. I changed my mind. I got to get it back.
Well, where'd you mail
This
it?
box right here, last night.
Well, can't get it back against department regulations. Once he's in the box, he's our baby till we make delivery. Better take it up with the postmaster.
Well, listen, nobody will know about it. All you got to do
Sorry, bud.
I tell you, I got to get it.
I can't.
Okay. Sorry, pal. I'm into the bushes with you. Where do you keep your keys? Oh, here. Okay, check the box first. Empty. Oh, he's already got it in the truck. Three mail bags. Okay. Canceled. It's all incoming. Oh, maybe the others. Canceled. Incoming. Better be in this one. Oh, this is incoming, too. It's been picked up by another truck. Wait a minute. The post office. Yeah, the Los Angeles post office. I still got a chance.
Just a minute now. Now, what was that again, ma'am? You say you left a request at home?
He's writing me each week for 6 weeks, wanting always 1 can mixed nuts.
Yeah, but you gotta have the letter with you on all overseas packages.
Pardon me, Chief. There's something I want to ask.
Yeah, wait your turn, will you, pal? What was that, lady?
Well, it'll only take a second. I just want to
I said wait your turn. Now, lady?
1 package mixed nuts I'm sending in weekly to Okinawa Island.
Yeah, I know. But you can't send a package that size without a written request.
It's home, I'm telling you. Today my husband
Look, Chief, you gotta tell me...
Say, what's eating you? Take your time, will you? Now, look, lady. Who'd you give the nuts to here at the counter last time?
Over there, him.
Oh. Hey, Kelly. Well, what do you say? Hey. Oh, he's on the phone. Wait a minute. He'll be through.
Yeah, what do you know? Well, just a minute. What's the matter, Ed?
This woman here wants to send a package overseas. Says you took one from her every week. You left the request at home, she says.
Oh, yeah, she's okay. Go ahead, take it.
Okay. Okay, Liddy. Let's see, it'll be 27 cents.
Thank you. Next time I bring the letter.
Right. Now, what can I do for you, pal?
Listen, I sent an airmail letter this morning from Chalmers Cove to San Francisco. What plane will be on?
What time did you mail it?
It was picked up at 9, maybe a little before.
I'll be on flight 6 out of Burbank. Leaves at noon.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Oh, what do you know about that, Ed?
What?
I had a mail robbery down the line this morning.
Yeah? Where?
Chalmers Cove.
Chalmers Cove. Hey, wait a minute. Where'd that guy go to?
Oh, what's the matter?
Take the window, Kelly. I got a phone call to make.
11 o'clock, Clint. 1 hour to make that plane, and you haven't a chance without a reservation. Unless, yes, you walk into a phone booth in a drugstore.
Chance it might work. I got a ticket. Hello, Pacific Airlines. This is the Army Priority Board. A civilian passenger for San Francisco will arrive at the airport in a half hour. J.G. Eastlake. Yeah. Give him a 2 priority on flight 6 at noon. Right. Thank you.
Passengers Noble, Gray, and Hackett on Flight 10 to Las Vegas. Please report to reservation desk. Flight 8 to Phoenix,
All right,
El
Mr.
Paso,
Stark.
and Eastern
Baggage
Point.
checked at 42 pounds. Priority 3.
Pardon me, clerk.
Just a moment, sir. Be right with you. That's Flight 10 to San Francisco. Change for the Reno plane at midnight tonight. There you are. What can I do for you?
I want to leave on flight 6 to San Francisco.
I see. Your name?
My name is...
Excuse me just a minute. You're Miss Gregg.
Yes.
I'm Reynolds.
Oh, yes. How do you do, Mr. Reynolds?
Has he checked in yet?
No, he called here about a half hour ago. Naturally, we confirm all calls from the priority board by calling back. They've never heard of him.
I see. Well, I'll be in the lobby here. All you have to do is give me the eye.
Right. Thanks, Mr. Reynolds. What was that name again?
Name is Vickers. Howard Vickers.
You say you're on Flight 6?
I'm trying to make it. I don't have a priority.
Oh, I see. Well, there may be a cancellation, of course. Will you wait here in the lobby? Take off in 15 minutes.
Yes, I'll wait.
You'll have a pretty fair chance. As it happens, we're running 2 sections on Flight 6.
2 sections?
Yes. That's a break for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Quite a break.
2 sections, Clint, both of them carrying mail. You can see the trucks out there on the strip now, loading it on both planes. Even if you make it now, you've only got a 50-50 chance. The first plane takes off at noon. Finally, at 9 minutes past 12.
Mr. Howard Vickers, please report to reservation desk. We have your reservation on Flight 6, second section. Mr. Vickers, please.
If you knew how to pray, Clint, you'd be praying now. Praying that the letter that means life or death to you is in one of the sacks you saw them load into the tail compartment of the plane you're riding on. Yes, and that you can follow it from the airport in San Francisco, tail the postman who takes it to the office of the Times-Star. But if it's on the first plane, Clint, if it's delivered before you arrive, you're just as dead as if you'd stayed in Chalmers Cove and waited for them to come and get you. You need a break, Clint, a good, healthy break. Then at 1:30.
Fasten safety belts, please. There's nothing to worry about. Fasten safety belts. Fasten safety belts, please. We're going to land. There's absolutely no danger. We've simply run into a storm and we're landing until it blows over.
But where are we?
We just passed over the Salinas. It may be necessary to spend the night here. A company limousine will pick you up and take you to a hotel. Just relax. We're landing now.
Stewardess.
Yes, sir?
What about the first section, up ahead?
Well, I couldn't say, sir. They may be through the storm.
They'll arrive in San Francisco before we do?
Well, maybe. I don't know. I'll try to find out for you later.
This is an emergency field. There's a shelter down to your right. This way, please.
What's the matter, sir?
Why, I don't know.
Well, you'd better come along, sir.
I don't feel well, Stewart.
It was a pretty bumpy landing. You'll feel better when you get your feet on the ground.
Everybody gone?
Yes.
Good.
Well, what are you...
Never mind. Just do what I tell you and you'll be okay. Get out the keys.
But I
Don't tell
don't-
me you haven't got them. They're in your shoulder bag.
All right.
That's it. All right, now open up that tail compartment.
But I have no right
Listen, sister, I'd hate to drill you. I don't want to play games. See, now get back there and open it up.
All right, all right. There you are.
packages.
Well, what did you expect?
Where's the mail? Letters.
There isn't any. It's all express.
Don't hand me that. There's got to be letters.
There are. On the other plane.
Give me those keys. Now get in that compartment. Hurry up.
You're pretty panicky, aren't you, Clint? There's no way out of it now. For once, you don't know what to do. And just as you're about ready to give up...
A train. If I can make that train.
It's a quarter mile along the edge of the field of the tracks. A car is pulled up on the highway at the grade crossing. That's a better idea, isn't it, Clint? A car.
Hey! Hey, you! Hey!
Yeah? What's that?
Wait a minute, will you? Wait a minute!
Sure. What's the matter, mister? Had a wet, ain't you?
Never mind that. Get out.
What you talking
I said
about?
get out or I'll blow your head off. Hurry up.
Oh, yeah, sure. I didn't see
All right,
that.
beat it.
Yeah, mister, sure, I'm going. I'm going.
You've still got a chance, Clint. The other plane's delayed. Must have been. It's a big storm. Covers all the central California coast. You hit Watsonville at dusk. Take a chance on the shortcut to Los Gatos. You're almost there when...
Bridge washed out. I gotta turn back.
Back to the junction. Aptos, Soquel, Santa Cruz, Ben Lomond.
Sorry, Bud. There's a slide on the pass up ahead. There'll be a 2-hour wait at least.
October 8, 1945, The Whistler on Classic Radio Theater. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Whistler, Death Laughs Last, October 8th, 1945.
2 hours. 10 o'clock now. It'll be midnight before you get across the mountains. You can't think of anything but that other plane. If it were delayed long enough, the delivery would be held over until morning. That's the one you're counting on, isn't it, Clint? Then finally, at 4 a.m, you're there. You leave the car on 3rd Street and take a taxi the rest of the way to the Time Star building on Mission Street. There's a one-armed coffee joint across the way where you can telephone.
Pacific Airlines.
Listen, I want some information.
Yes, sir.
About Flight 6.
What's your destination, please?
Incoming Flight 6 yesterday from Los Angeles.
What did you want to know, sir?
Did it arrive here?
Well, Flight 6 from Los Angeles yesterday was in 2
Yes,
sections.
I know it was in 2 sections. One was grounded north of Salinas. I want to know about the other one, the first one.
Just a moment, please. What is the reason for your call, sir?
Does there have to be a reason?
I'm sorry, sir. Is there someone aboard the
I'm
plane?
calling from the San Francisco Time Star. There's a very important airmail letter aboard the first section of Flight 6 addressed to my office, and I want to know whether it'll arrive this morning. Does that satisfy you?
Just a moment, sir. The first section of Flight 6 arrived an hour ago. Your letter should be in the 8 o'clock delivery.
Thanks.
Three hours to go. 3 miles of pacing up and down Montgomery Street, over to Kearny, up Market to 7th, and back again. 5 cups of coffee. You're going on your nerve, Clint. Your hands are shaking so you can hardly light a cigarette. Then at 5 minutes of 8, a mail truck drives up to the rear entrance of the Time Star building. And you're ready for it, waiting on the platform.
Hello there. Is that our mail?
This is for the Time Star, if that's what you mean.
Great. Everything here?
Yeah, it's all in that sack.
Well, I'll take it up. Save your trip.
Well, thanks a lot.
Hey, better take her by the cord here. Okay.
Heavier than it looks.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
So long. Oh, we're gonna phone booth. Get up.
Well.
What?
What would you be taking that mailbag into a phone booth for, Mr. Garvey?
Away from me. I'll let
Give
you
me
have
it.
Okay.
Thanks. 38 caliber, professional model. You know how to use it, too. I'm Reynolds, FBI. Saw you yesterday at the Los Angeles airport, right?
What's the gimmick?
Charges? Well, let me see. There are 2 assault charges, 2 mail robbery counts, a car theft, and defrauding an innkeeper. You didn't pay your bill at the Chalmers Cove Hotel, you know. Of course, I'm mainly interested in this mail business, just like you are. You gonna tell me why?
You seem to know a lot of answers. Suppose you tell me.
You knew one answer you weren't supposed to know, Garvey. You were the only citizen in San Francisco outside the Pacific Airlines organization who knew the second flight of Flight 6 was grounded at Salinas yesterday. You know, it doesn't take much fooling with mailbags to get a lot of publicity. We checked you from that affair you pulled yesterday at Chalmers Cove right through to the call you made to the airline a little while ago. I was down there when it came in. Now, suppose you just walk along far enough in front of me to keep things friendly, We'll take care of the mail.
Well, Clint, you have a lot of time to think it over in your cell at the city jail during the next week. It was bad enough to be picked up just as you got to the payoff with a letter practically in your hand. But worse than that is the fact that you were outsmarted. That you're going to be on the receiving end of that horse laugh, as you call it. That's why you're puzzled as the days go by and there's no mention of the letter. Nothing of Eddie Lamar and the murder that used to be perfect. Then, 10 days afterwards, Reynolds walks into your cell block.
Hello, Clint.
Hello.
We got it.
What?
The letter.
Took you long enough.
Yeah. Slow service.
Why you been holding it?
We haven't?
Oh, wait a minute.
It wasn't in the sack, Clint.
Where was it?
Back at Chalmers Cove, the hotel.
What?
You're a little behind the times, Clint. The airmail rate is 8 cents, not 6.
October 8th, 1945, The Whistler on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the soap opera Claudia, a gift from Mr. Tucker, October 8th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
You finished with your breakfast, David?
Just the last sip of coffee.
Good. Give me the tray.
Hey, what's the rush?
Well, you said you were finished, didn't you?
Claudia, you're taking the cup right out of his mouth.
No feelings, your daughter, Mrs. Brown.
I want to take the tray out into the kitchen, Mom.
Can't it wait 5 minutes?
What for?
Well, because... Oh, why do I bother answering your ridiculous questions? Take the tray now if you're in such a hurry.
I'm not in a hurry.
Then why hurry?
Because I can't stand seeing dirty dishes lying around the living room.
You're starting to sound like an old maid.
Take the tray, old maid.
Now, that's a fine thing for a husband to call his only wife.
Well, I could do worse by you.
I'll be back in a minute to clean things up.
Clean what up?
Things.
Oh.
She's a regular tornado this morning, isn't she?
With a touch of cyclone around the edges. Mother.
Mother, what? You can't leave me hanging like that.
I'm starting to feel a bit of a tornado myself.
More like yourself.
Oh, much more. Today, for the first time since my car accident, I really feel as if I could get off this sofa and walk down the road and smell the fall air and enjoy it.
Good to hear, David.
Good to hear what?
Persons who come in on the tail end of conversations and then say what and who and why and where should have their ears cut off.
Am I included in or out?
In.
Oh. Say, you know, you look pretty well today, Mr. Norton.
We aim to please. You have some matches on you, Mrs. Norton?
There he goes with that pipe again, Mama. Here, matches.
Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing with those newspapers?
Folding them up.
I haven't finished reading them yet.
They look so messy this way, David.
I am reading them.
Can't you read them folded up better?
Old maid.
They are folded neatly. They are merely inside out.
You call this neat? Well, I certainly don't. Why do they make newspapers such an awkward size?
Well, why do they have to make wives so neat?
Would you rather I be sloppy?
Just give me back my newspapers and I can read them in peace.
In pieces. Now, you just wait till I get this all in order.
Did you bring her up like this, Mrs. Brown?
Brought her up, but not like this.
So fastidious she is.
Always carries everything to an extreme.
You're fine ones to talk. David never takes anything out of a drawer or closet without putting it right back in when he's through.
You don't give anybody a chance to get through.
Here's your newspaper. Don't you say thank you?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, wait a sec. I'll empty that ashtray.
It's not full yet.
Oh, you don't want to wait till it gets full. You'll get ashes all over the house.
From one little pipe?
Besides, I'm on my feet. I'd rather empty it while I'm on my feet.
Then, for heaven's sake, sit down. You're getting me nervous hopping around, straightening everything up.
Can't stand a messy room. David's spending most of his time convalescing in this room, Mom, and he'll convalesce twice as quickly if the room is neat. Won't you, David? Here's your ashtray.
What or what?
Convalesce twice as quickly.
Oh, sure.
See, Mama?
Well?
He will.
Now, everything's neat. Sit down. You're making me drop stitches.
Well, you'll have to clean them up if you do.
I just want to straighten these Venetian blinds.
I don't dare breathe for fear of disturbing something.
Does that look even to you, David?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even look.
I could tell it was even.
How?
It sounded even the way you pulled it up.
Oh, bluffer. Sun in your eyes, David?
Nope.
Well, now the room's starting to look decent.
Now, don't move, Mother. Don't move. You'll spoil the arrangement.
David, I want you to know something here and now. I brought Claudia up to be neat, but not to be neurotic.
Then where does she get it?
Heaven only knows.
While you two have yourselves a time pulling my character apart, I'm going into the kitchen for a dust rag.
You have no character.
Huh.
You must be feeling better today. You're so patient.
Well, actually, she's right. Sometimes I think I became an architect mainly because I like life to look orderly and clean. I like to plan things for their comfort and efficiency. Claudia knows I'd go pretty near crazy if I had to sit around in a messy room, particularly now when there's nothing else I can do.
Just don't let her drive you crazy with this other extreme.
Oh, I'm not worried.
In spite of her being my daughter, David, I must admit that she's behaved rather well through these last few weeks.
Not in spite of, Mrs. Brown. Perhaps because of.
Go back to your newspaper, flatterer.
Stay where you are, Mom. I've got it.
Wonder who it could be.
Mail?
Too early for that.
Mr. Tucker, good morning.
Howdy, ma'am. Too early for you?
Too early? We are would-be farmers, Mr. Tucker. Nothing is too early.
I'm in the living room, Mr. Tucker. Come on in.
Here, David. You're not too early for him
Yes,
either.
bellowing like a bull. You feeling better, young man?
Oh, feeling fine. Good morning, Mr. Tucker.
Yep, you're looking better. Look more like yourself you are.
Is that good?
You can't complain. Good morning to you, Mrs. Brown.
Good morning, Mr. Tucker.
Keeping an eye on your son-in-law?
He's the only one I have.
Yep.
The only one you're ever going to have either. Mr. Tucker, how about sitting down?
Well, I ain't got the minute just now. I've got a little, well, you might say I got a little, present I brung over to you.
A present?
Well, kind of let you know I'm glad Mr. Naughton here's pulled through his troubles. And could be that, well, it might kind of also help you pull through any troubles you might have later on, yes.
Later on?
Well, being sick in the hospital, laid up away from work for some weeks, ain't no way to make money, they tell me. Nope, tain't.
No, tain't.
So, since you wouldn't let me help you out with money, 'cause I could, you know, I got something to help you out with. I brung you over a present. You can keep her, or you can, well, you can do whatever you have to do with her. She's yours.
Oh, whatever she is, Mr. Tucker, we'll keep her. And whatever she is, thanks for being our neighbor.
Oh, shucks, that's an accidental locality. No thanks accepted.
I don't want to appear curious, but who is she?
She? Well, she's a pig.
A pig?
Say, you ain't disappointed, are you?
I've been dying for a pig on our farm, Mr. Tucker, and so is David. Haven't you, David?
I have indeed. Seriously, a pig is quite a gift, Mr. Tucker.
Oh, wouldn't give you one that wasn't. Now, how about coming out and taking a look now?
Out?
Well, I tied her up to a tree off your drive.
Oh, well, I couldn't let David go out yet. Dr. Barry hasn't said he can.
Oh, yes. Well, how about you, Mrs. Naughton?
Yeah, go on, darling. I'll see her some other time.
We ought to see her together for the first time. Mr. Tucker, bring her in here.
Claudia.
In the living room,
Why
darling?
not? The pig won't mind, will she, Mr. Tucker?
Well, it ain't usual.
Oh, who cares what's usual? If you bring her in here, David can see her now without waiting. We can see her together.
And she's just spent the last half hour cleaning up this room till it sparkled.
A pig is not going to hurt it, Mama. They're very clean. Mr. Tucker said so.
Yes, but Mr. Norton, you got yourself quite a woman there, right in the living room. Quite a woman. Wait till I tell my Delilah.
Your sister wouldn't?
Well, 'tain't many women who would. Sure glad I brung her over to you. I'm sure am glad. She and I'll be right back, and with our party manners. Yep, with our party manners. If pigs is pigs, you know.
What a wonderful old man.
Well, you're not so bad yourself.
I wouldn't have believed it. She makes a fuss over a few crumbs and then allows a pig the use of her parlor.
Crumbs aren't important, Mama. Pigs are. I'll never forget the way Mr. Tucker looked at his Ruby when she had her litter a few months ago.
Well, that Ruby is quite a
There
sow.
was such dignity about her when she pushed her piglets to their feet. She had 8. 7 better than I, Mama. Animals are so sure of themselves. They put us to shame.
My own daughter. I didn't know she had it in her, David.
Surprised?
And proud.
Come on here, girl. Go right along. Come on. Yep, here we are. She's straining on
Look
down
at
there.
her.
Quiet
She's
now.
wonderful.
Nothing reluctant about her, there ain't.
She's enormous.
Good heavens, what a pig.
She's a beauty.
She's a good sow, she is. She's bred, too, so you'll have a litter of your own, yep.
David, what have we done to deserve this?
I don't know, darling.
Well, you don't have to do nothing. It's, you know what I always say? It's what you are.
Mr. Tucker.
Now, don't say you ain't going to take her, young man, 'cause I just won't hear of it now.
No, I want you to tell me something. I think I've seen this pig before.
Eh? You do, hey?
Yes, I do. Those ears and nose and eyes, the line of her hams and the set of her head. Mr. Tucker, that pig is Ruby, none other.
Ruby herself?
Come on now, admit it.
Never thought you'd remember, clear. Why, young man, you're a genius. That's what you are, a genius.
Well, it wouldn't take a genius to recognize Ruby. She's a very special pig, Mr. Tucker.
Yep, she is. Ruby and I, we done pretty well together. Never had another one like her. She'll do you proud, Mr. Norton. Bring you fine price, or if you aim to keep her, you'll have something.
Mr. Tucker, you can't give us Ruby.
Who says I can't?
Well, she means so much to you. She's much too good and special to give away.
You can't hold on to things forever, Mrs. Norton. I've owned Ruby, and now it's your turn. You deserve her, if only for recognizing her. Besides, folks tell me I ain't going to live forever. Not even I ain't. It'd be a comfort to me to know that Ruby's well shut up, it would.
We'll be proud to set her up, Mr. Tucker.
She'll miss you.
Oh, heck, I'll be around. Just live down the road a ways. I'll be around.
Well, you'd better be. For a long time.
David, you're all choked up.
Well, this is quite an event, darling.
I know. At least I hope I know. It'd be such a waste not to.
I'll, have to be bringing over some of her paraphernalia. That's a humdinger of a word, eh?
We can set Ruby up in the barn for the time being.
That'll do her fine. I got a range house for her I'll bring around and all her feeding gear.
Then I'll get Fritz to go downtown this afternoon and buy some feed for
Oh,
her.
she ain't fussy about her diet, but I'll have a word with your man Fritz about it before I leave. Yeah.
Well, Fritz is the one who's going to be excited about all this.
Thank heavens for Fritz.
You know, he and Ruby'll get on fine. I seen it when he midwifed her. Yes, sirree, he handled her just so. And Ruby knew it, too. Didn't you, girl? Hey?
I'm sure you want to give her to us, Mr. Tucker. Really.
Well, she's yours. I told you so. And when Jared Tucker says something, that's the way it is. Yep, Ruby's yours. She's no longer my Ruby.
Oh, Mama.
Now, I ain't got time for more talk. Got a heap of things to do. I'll take Ruby out to your man Fritz, and then I'll get home myself. Yeah, I'll get on home myself.
So long, Mr. Tucker.
Well, see you later, lad. See you, ma'am.
Goodbye.
Come on here, Ruby. Come on now. Step lively. Now, I'm a busy man. Go on. Get on now.
Let him go alone, darling.
Of course. She's really ours now.
You two children.
What about us, Mama?
To watch the way you two behaved, you'd think receiving a pig was more of an event than having a baby.
Pig like Ruby is an event, Mama. A big event. I'm certainly glad my parlor was spick and span just for this event.
It's surprising what a difference you notice all the rest of the day when you make lunchtime something of an occasion instead of simply eating a hasty bite. You can turn a casual meal into a refreshing occasion by including ice-cold Coca-Cola with your lunch. Bring a carton of Coke home from the drugstore or grocer's and lunch refresh tomorrow.
Mr. King, would you ever believe that Claudia was raised in New York City?
No, that's rather difficult to believe. She's taken to the farm like an old farm hand.
It's amazing, but I'm glad of it. This life's good and real and happy.
My wife and I think of it often. It'd be so fine for the children.
For them, above all. I love the city, but you miss a great deal living there.
Just think. No pigs in the living room.
Not one. And no leaves turning red or the smell of the fall in the wind.
You like fall?
It's an exciting season.
Then you'll like Monday. Monday's fall. We'll see you then?
See you then.
Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again Monday at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. The parts of Claudia and David on this program were played by Catherine Bard and Paul Crabtree. And the entire production is supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
October 28th, 1948, Claudia on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for making us a part of your day. Thank this station. Support their advertisers, would you please? And visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. Stream our shows there. Learn more about classic radio collecting. Contact me there, classicradio.stream. All of our shows are available there. You can even buy me a copy and help us acquire additional classic radio collections. Tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.